You are still watching Mario Party. You sad person, you. No, I appreciate people watching. I don't really care, but I appreciate it. I think it's cool. I think you're cool. If you're still watching episode 19. I got the number right this time. I think I said 17 last time. And if I had a good comment section, by which I mean a comment section, by which I mean any singular person who felt the need to comment, I'm sure I'd get a comment that said, hey, you got the number wrong. You're dumb. And I hope they phrase it exactly like that. This time I know, because I looked. And this is episode 19. Which makes sense, because I was talking about ending it at 20 episodes. And this map is short. And this is only going to be a 3-part map, arc, what have you. And I know it sounds like 17 plus 3 is going to be 20, but you gotta count 17 in there. That's one of the dialogue quips in the movie Miss Sloane, which you should absolutely go watch because it is a great movie about gun control. A very, very good topic, which we will definitely not get into here because we all know video gamers are very, very calm, cool, and collected when it comes to anything remotely political on their Mario Party Let's Plays. But the movie itself is very, very good. I think regardless of where you come out on gun control, obviously it's going to be more impactful for one side than the other, but I think it does a pretty fair job of balancing the issue. Anyway, our protagonist, Miss Sloane, is on trial for part of the movie, and she has been told not to say anything, like to plead the fifth on literally everything. And early on, the judge is like, hey, you were working for these people during this 10-year period, and he lists a period that sounds like it's 10 years. It's like 2001 to 2011. And you're like, yes, that is absolutely 10 years. And you're like, oh, wait. You have to count the year you were on. It's actually 11 years. And she corrects him, even though she's supposed to be pleading the fifth in the whole thing. And it just becomes a whole... It's basically foreshadowing that she's not going to remain quiet. And we know this because that's her personality. She's too smart for that. And it's a really, really good movie. Dialogue's pretty fantastic. Jessica Chastain is just tremendous in most things she does, but especially this one. Like Miss Sloane and Zero Dark 30, and to a lesser extent Molly's Game, are probably like the top 3 Jessica Chastain performances, I want to say. I may be forgetting one. Possibly. Potentially. But I can't think of it right now. I'm trying. I mean, Zero Dark 30 is the one. She, in my opinion, probably should have won the Oscar that year. If memory serves, it went to Jennifer Lawrence. Is that Jennifer Lawrence's year? I feel like it was. Because that would have been the 2012 season, so the 2013 Oscars. I think Lawrence won for Silver Linings Playbook. I get confused. The Oscars are a big mess anyway. The Oscars just happened. I know they happened like a month and a half ago from when you're probably watching this, but for me they kinda just happened like 2 weeks ago. And a lot of people are pretty mad about Green Book winning Best Picture. And it is the one Best Picture nominee I did not ever see. And don't really have any intention of seeing it. Don't really care. It looks basic. Very okay. It seems like its take on, like, I think the whole thing is supposed to be a take on race relations between, basically exemplified between these two individuals, one of whom is white, one of whom is black, and from what I can gather, they aren't friends at the start, and then they are friends at the end, and racism is solved forever. So of course it won Best Picture. The Oscars are dumb. People are very mad about that. As perhaps they should be. Apparently, the movie did not accurately tell this real-life story, because we all know movies that are non-documentaries always tell the real-life story 100% truthfully. And apparently it's just too basic a take. It's not nuanced enough. It doesn't have anything actually to say, and it gets a little white savior-y. So that's always fun. I enjoy when that happens in movies. But it won Best Picture, so people are very upset about it. People are less upset about all of the acting, I think. I think most of the acting people are okay with, because Mahershala Ali won for Green Book, which people were okay with, even though they didn't like Green Book. I guess he's good in it. That's cool. I like him a lot. Olivia Colman won Supporting Actress. Her speech was great. And I'm blanking on the others. I don't care enough. I didn't care a lot about the Oscars this year. I think part of the reason was film Twitter got me down. Which isn't fair to the Oscars, really. But I am so tired of people taking the Oscars as gospel. They are a voting body who decided to award their awards. That's it. We put a lot of stock into them, but the truth of the matter is, they don't matter a whole lot more than your awards or my awards. They're the opinions of people who are not you, and therefore that's all they really matter. But people take them as the be-all, end-all, and try to pick their own awards into them. Like, if you ever hear someone was snubbed from the Oscars, slap that person. Like, maybe don't actually, because violence is generally not a good thing to incite. But snubs don't exist. I've mentioned this a lot on my personal Twitter, which I don't link on this video, so have fun with that. But the truth of the matter is, if something was worthy of an Oscar, it would have gotten an Oscar. If the people voting for the Oscars thought something deserved an Oscar or a nomination, guess what they would have done? They would have nominated it. The idea that you're telling someone else for what or for whom they should vote for is ludicrous. You ain't that important. You don't matter that much. Your opinion is not that more important than the thousands of voters. Go make your own awards, you dumb. Sorry to get all movie this episode, but that's where I come from. For those who are unaware, prior to starting this very, very successful gaming channel, with at present 11 subscribers, thank you very much, I was a movie critic. And still am. I still have my own website. It's not as active as it used to be, but I get a review or two a month. That's where I come from. That's where I went to school. That's why I went to school. I went to study film. That didn't work out terribly well, but such is life, I guess. I did 2 years of a 4-year program for film. And then I got a job writing movie reviews for The Escapist, a gaming website you may know because of Zero Punctuation. That is its primary content, I guess. And I did that for a couple of years. prior to them deciding the ownership deciding that it no longer wanted to pay its content creators, and everyone got let go. All of the staff got let go. All of the content creators got let go, except for Zero Punctuation. And that's how the site operated for like a year until it got bought by somebody else, who they then brought back a whole bunch of the original people who made the site relatively successful in like 2007 to 2012-ish. No ill will, by the way, for those people who at one point suspected I may have ill will toward anyone there. I don't. I had a really good time there. I was never... I wasn't dictated to. I was always paid on time. My time on The Escapist was very, very good, and I was happy with it. And I was sad to see it go. Especially because it was a job writing movie reviews, which is what I wanted to do with my life. I'm now learning that that may or may not be something that is actually possible to do, especially in this landscape that we live in. Hence why I'm doing YouTube videos now that nobody watches. Just trying to diversify. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's where I have my background, that's where I have my education. It wasn't a complete education, but it was an education. Film school's dumb, by the way, for those of you who are thinking of maybe going into it, because I know Let's Plays get viewed more by children than adults. Teenagers, typically. If you are thinking of going to film school itself isn't the worst thing in the world. Film studies is dumb. Don't do it. But if you go to like a technical school where you can actually learn the craft of filmmaking and you want to become a filmmaker, that can be beneficial. You're still better off just learning on your own. Like literally just grab a camera, grab an iPhone, and like learn how to make a movie. Do by learning, or learn by doing, I guess is the better phrase, because that will teach you pretty much just as much. You'll learn some terminology, and you get to actually work with other people who are interested in it. That's the cool part about film school. But in terms of actually learning the keys and how to do it, maybe not. Depends what kind of learner you are. I think it's more beneficial to just do it. And that's my mini rant about film school. Basically, it finished this episode, so bye.